Hello, everybody. My name is Cynthia Ramirez, and I'm a full professor of fine art at Southern University at New Orleans. I have been doing Day of the Dead altars in the New Orleans areas for well over 20 years. I have shown at the Ogden, I have shown at the Cabildo, the State Museum in the Mint, um, so various places in the city. And I also do the crafts that are associated with the altar. This is a little mini altar that I have set up here. And there's many crafts that have to deal with the Day of the Dead. But today what we're going to be talking about is sugar skulls, the Mexican sugar skulls. This is actually a sugar skull that you can get, you can buy during the Day of the Dead, which is November 1st and November 2nd, the 2 days. But officially it's on November 2nd. That's when the adult souls come back. And on November 1st, of course, is when the children's souls come back. And that is on November 1st. It's the same time as All Saints Day and All Souls Day of the Catholic calendar. So basically what Day of the Dead is the people, your loved ones, come back just for one day, just to be with you, and you will share time with them. So you make sure that the altars is that they have everything they need, because they just have one day, and so they can go one place to get the food or entertainment in one stop and see everybody that they can. So this is made out of all the sugar. This one they kind of melt down the sugar and then they pour it into mold. So it's more of a casting process, but where it is molten. And they make it, they pour it and let it cool, and then they remove the sugar skull. Okay, so these will be all over the marketplaces, and you can see here on the very top, you would put the name of your loved one. They would buy it for living people, and so this would be given as a gift. You know, you can give it to your child, your sister, your brother, whoever, but this would be where your name would be on that. So basically what it represents is you take it and you crush it and then you eat it, and that's kind of like whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You beat death for that day. So the Mexicans have a great attitude towards that. They kind of poke it, make fun of it because, oh, I beat you this year. So it's a very interesting way of dealing with that, you know, or playing around with it. And so it's kind of an interesting way of looking at it. So I also have one that this is the molds that we were going to use today. But this is what I do for Jazz Fest, and this is a kids mold, a kids molding material called Model Magic. And since I'm in Southwest Louisiana, Southeast Louisiana, it's very humid here. Today I tried to do the show. They turned out pretty good though, so I tried to crank up the air conditioning because of humidity, because you cannot work with humidity with sugar skulls. They just will not work out. But I was able to control it with the air conditioner, bringing down the humidity. And I watched to see what the humidity was inside. This you don't have to, because it is a clay, a synthetic clay. And so what I do is put it in the same molds I do the sugar skulls, and then I use that puffy paint to create the illusion of the what is it, Royal Icing. So anyway, so this is another way of doing it, and bugs can't get to it, so it's kind of a neat thing. We're going to begin with making them, putting them into molds, how you put it together, and then the Royal Icing, and then I'm going to show you how to create and decorate your skull. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is actually an altar to my father. There's my father. And so anyways, you can tune in, and then I will show you how to do it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much, and have a good day. Okay, So you probably heard about, now that you know about the sugar skulls, I'm going to show you how you can make them. So I have mixed sugar, so you're going to need sugar, meringue powder, and water. That's all you need to mix with your sugar. So for a 5-pound bag of sugar, you're going to use, let's see, 1/4 cup of meringue powder and 10 tablespoons of water. Now that makes around 20, this size, the small size, let me see, the small size about this big, okay, it's a little smaller, probably about the size like this. So that makes about 20. However, looks like I got about 22, 23 out of that batch. So you got to pack it really good. So that is just basically the recipe. And then I'm going to show you the mixture for the frosting too. So let's just look at what we're doing right now with the how to make the sugar skulls. So you're going to mix all your ingredients together. Now ideally, you don't want it too wet because it's going to stick to the mold. You want it to be where you're going to mix it together, and if it's too dry and it doesn't hold itself, you can put a little bit of water, but not a lot. Just do tablespoons, teaspoons as you go. So I got it to the consistency I like. So if you notice, if I hold it like that, you see how it holds itself? I squeeze it and it holds itself. It doesn't fall apart when you come together, okay? So what I do, these are the molds that I get from MexicanSugarSkull.com. Basically what I'm doing is you take your mixture, okay, and you really kind of fill it up like this, okay? Push it in there so it really gets the form on that. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more so I can just shove it in there. Okay, so then you take a knife or something that you're gonna level it off with, okay? So you're just gonna take it and just kind of level it off. See how I did that? Just level it off like that. And what I do, if there's one empty, I'm just kind of take it over there and push it in there like that. Okay. Then I take some more out of here and then I push it. Looks like I'm going to get about 22 out of this mixture. I've already done the other 20. So I'm just going to keep pushing until I get an, oh, you want to overflow it. So I'm just taking it, pushing it in there, pushing it in there. Get a big enough bowl that you won't, so it won't go over, you know, so you can really mix it together. Mine could have been a little deeper. This is the bowl I'm using. It could have been a little higher so I can really mix the thing, but I was limited here. Okay, so I got it to its over capacity, and then I'm just pushing it in. Push it in, not too much, just enough to pack it. Think about doing brown sugar. I don't know if you've ever done brown sugar. You always pack it into the cup that you're doing it in, because you want it nice and packed in there. It probably has a consistency of brown sugar. That's what you're looking for, okay? Okay, so then you scrape it, and I just put it back into the bowl. Try to get as much off as you can. Because we're going to flip this. Some people cut these things around, but I like keeping them together. So that way I can stack them really good. Okay, so look, see how it's even on the top? Alright, so we put that aside. And then immediately, you take your, you need some cardboard, like really sturdy cardboard. And I cut mine to about 4 by 4 inches. You can even get boxes. You can cut it up, you know, your boxes to create, because you want something nice and sturdy. Because these things, if they get jolted before they're set up, they can crack, okay? So I take 2 of them, okay? Let me turn that around, okay? So I do this. You see where I have it? And so what I do, you're going to flip it. Be careful. Just flip it. Okay? And slowly put it down. and you see how it just comes up, okay? So then you have my eyeballs all kind of, so then it turns out like this. Let me see it. And so you want this to dry. Let me show you this guy. And see how nice and packed it is? You want it to be nice and get the contours of the thing. So you leave this on here for about 12 hours and let it dry. What I like to do, this was a little tip I got from the ladies over at Mexican Sugar Skulls too. Let it dry for about 12 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. So it gets a nice hard thing. And to top it off, to get all that moisture out of it, you turn an oven up to about 200, okay? And then when it gets to 200, turn it off, all right? And then you put your skulls, the nice dry skulls, and put them on a cookie sheet. And then what you do is you turn it off, you put it into the oven, and then let it cool down completely. So what it's going to do is give you a nice hard sheen on the top of it, and then it's going to seal, almost melt that sugar so it's nice and hard, right? You get a nice sheen to it. So you want that nice coating on the oven. So that's a little trick that you can do. Well, that's how you make the sugar skulls. So now I'm going to show you how to make the icing for it, and then we're going to actually decorate it with the royal icing. Okay, so I will see you in a bit. Hello everybody, I'm back. So I finished making the royal icing, and how you make the royal icing is you take 2/3 cup water to 1/2 cup meringue powder to 2 pounds of powdered sugar, okay? Only make two pounds at a time because it dries very hard. So you don't want to do too much. You can always do the next batch as you go. So just 2 pounds of powdered sugar at a time. Now, you're going to use a mixer, right, to get it nice and until it peaks up, right? It's a real stiff. You want it to be nice and stiff. So about 9 minutes, you're going to put it in a mixer for about 9 minutes so it gets nice and incorporated and it peaks, okay? You want to see it peak. Do not refrigerate it, okay? It's kind of like a cement thing, so you don't want it gets real hard. So you don't want to, it's what you use for gingerbread houses to put things together. So, and very important, do not use liquid, food coloring, okay? You have to use the paste, right? Because if you put the liquid, it gets too thin and runny. You don't want that. You want it to stay in place as you go. And so it is the solid or the gel of the food coloring, okay? You can get it in any, sometimes you got to get a specialty, but sometimes you can probably get it at any kind of, I don't know if Michael has it. I don't think they might have it. I'm not sure, but it's got to be the not the liquid, but the paste like food coloring. So here is the skulls. It's pretty hard, and so you can see his little face. So what we're going to do is we're going to start decorating it. Okay. So here is this is the blue of the food coloring here, and with the food coloring and the so you put them in piping bags. You can also put it in a bag, you know, like a Ziploc bag. I would do like maybe a sandwich bag and do it at a point, so you have a nice point so you can but these are kind of like piping bags. These are disposable. These are not the fancy ones that you can use over and over again, the cloth ones. So this one, they're very disposable. So what you're going to do, let's see, maybe I can tip it down here so you can see me do it. Let me move it up here. Oh, it's here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you have like a knot at the end of it. And so you're going to push through this, not too much, just enough so it goes, you see how it's going up to the tip there? Oh, let me get it open there. There you go. It's going to start coming out as you push from the bottom. And so you're going to guide it. So I'm going to do, well, I also have, they also put little, this is kind of like a foil that I'm going to put over my eyes, and they're like little shapes of flowers. So I'm going to put them in my eyes, And how you put them in there, you can, because this stuff, it's like glue. So I'm putting some of this into my eyes so I can stick that into it. Okay, so I'm going to stick that like that. Oops. Oops. So it can stick, right? And then I'm going to go around and make some sort of design. I think I'm going to open this up a little bit more because it's coming out a little bit too thin. So the wider, you can cut it off to make it as wide as you want. So I'm going to put little dot. 1, 2. Oops, that little thing's moving around, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to take him out. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going around the eyes and making little dots there. Oops. Okay. Doesn't want to stay for some reason. Okay, boink. Okay, so then you can, I think I'm going to fill my eyes with red. So then you can change your color and just take your time. And I'm just going to fill it up, squeezing as I go. Squeezing as I go. Okay, and let me make this right here. Okay, then I'm going to, I don't know, make like a little, it's way too small. Okay, so I'm just pushing from the bottom, and I am just going to make a kind of like a little flower here. Oh, looks like a butterfly maybe. Or maybe I can go around like this. Boink, boink. And then maybe I can put a little dot in there. Boink. Alright, so then you can just start adding to your sugar skull. I always like to accentuate the teeth. Okay. Alright, so that's it. And so you just kind of pipe it in. You can make any, you can get all kinds of colors. And basically, you're just decorating your sugar skull. See if you can see a little bit better. There it is. Okay, so that's it. That's all you do. And have a good Day of the Dead. And I will see you soon. All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye.